Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Most Excellent Entertainment. I am your host, Keith, as always. And with me today is for part two of our interview is Jason Connolly from Brother Meat. I already gave you an introduction last time, so we'll just roll into it this time. How's it going, Jason?
It's going well. Going well, Keith. Good to see you.
You too, man. So, if for those of you who haven't watched the first part, go back and watch it. That's it's kind of required viewing.
You're already giving people homework.
Hey, it's very rare that I give out homework, so might as well do a little.
Right.
But before we get into we had gotten up to basically where Eric was leaving the band.
hmm
And before we get into that second part of the band, I wanted to go back and kind of talk about some moments, you know, just yeah, basically just talk about some moments that happened with the first incarnation of Brother Meat, I suppose. Um,
Awesome.
cool. So we touched on this a little bit for the first time, but you guys did a lot of really cool cover songs, and I was trying to think of as many of them as I could. So there was God of Thunder. Um,
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Right. Yeah.
oh, dude, yeah. I remember when you guys
Yeah.
played that at the Nines, and the stage at the Nines was not much of a stage. So we were like
Yeah.
right in front of Eric, just like God of Thunder. It was freaking massive, man. It was so cool. But yeah, so you guys did God of Thunder, Goo Goo Monk, um, Staying Alive. Uh, let's see, Jenny 8675309. Uh, Everybody's Working for the Weekend. Heartbreaker. Is that it? Do you think? Was there
That
more?
covers the gamut of it. When
Okay.
Eric left, we didn't play this, but we wanted to do a Pat Benatar trio.
Oh, nice.
So we were working on Promises in the Dark.
Oh, interesting.
But it never transpired. And if you're familiar with that song,
Yeah.
it has a great sort of quiet build up, and then Pat does the promises in the so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it was custom made for an Eric Semmelhack,
Yes.
rendition.
Yeah.
So never came to pass though.
Oh, so what did you guys so first of all, I remember Staying Alive when you guys got the rights to Staying Alive to record it, and you sent out like a an announcement,
Yeah,
and then you guys never actually recorded it. So what happened with that?
Uh, my recollection is hazy,
Okay.
but I think at there was we just were kind of like just scared of being, you know, sued,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and we also just didn't know what we were doing anyway.
Yeah.
If I remember right, Brian and I fashioned a letter to send to BMI Publishing to get,
Yeah.
but we never heard back. And
Okay.
so we just were like, yeah, let's not poke the bear.
Right on. Okay. Okay.
So
So the question that I
the,
was oh, go ahead.
these days it's a ton easier. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we put up the live record,
Right.
horizontal boogie bar on Spotify. And all these aggregators now, we go through DistroKid. There's many of them now.
Yeah, yeah. And they just take
Uh,
care of it.
yeah, you just essentially you submit a request. It's all automated, and you either get accepted or rejected,
Right. Yeah.
whatever. And if there's any royalties to be dispersed, they take care of it. So
Yeah.
we don't see any of
Awesome.
it. Um,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that they're making a ton of royalties
Right,
off
right.
of
It's
that
compared to what, yeah,
rendition.
yeah. I actually have a friend who goes through DistroKit and he does cover songs, and a lot of the times he will actually find a backing track with no vocals and only record the vocals. Sometimes he'll play guitar over top of it. And he
Hmm.
still legally releases those things. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a hazy area, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, I was just kind of wondering how you guys chose what songs to cover, and
I'd love to give you some sort of formula and that we
yeah.
were sort of huddled in a basement somewhere listening to 1,000 different tapes.
Right.
Uh, Honestly, Keith, it was merely just one of us would be driving somewhere and a song would come on the radio. It's like, yeah, we should cover this. Yeah,
Hell yeah. I mean,
that's exactly how, or we'd back in the days when MTV played videos,
yeah.
or VH1 for that matter, I think VH1 used to have at that time, VH1 at that time had a lot of best of the 80s sort of videos,
Sure.
kind of very
Yeah.
80s themed.
Yeah.
So, Mike Reno came on, with Loverboy and those
Right.
super
Those
tight
red.
red leather or pleather pants. Nobody knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the headband. And Eric was like,
Hell yeah.
This is something we got to do."
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Um, and it's funny, the Horizontal Boogie Bar album, right? So didn't Mark just kind of make that at work on like a whim, and then it kind of
So,
became a thing?
okay, again, memories are hazy, but
Yeah.
um, in Rochester, there was a music entertainment group that put on shows in the Rochester area.
Right.
Dejalon Entertainment was the name of the group, and the guy that ran it saw us in Ithaca or Binghamton, or maybe he saw us in Rochester. I don't know,
Yeah.
but they put the bill together with other Rochester bands, and they invited us to be on this bill. The 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 promotional element of it is that it was being simulcast on a local Rochester college radio station.
Nice.
Whatever, I forget what it is. I think it was the RIT radio station. So it was
Okay.
being simulcast, and we, or not we, they, the Dejalon people, they put together. This is I totally forgot about this. That's right. So there was a front of house sound system. Our sound guy, Danny Stillwell, was mixing us live in the room,
Hmm.
but in the basement, there was a separate mix sent to another board, and that's the board that captured the
Right.
the disc recording, the live recording.
Okay.
So, I mean, anyway, I just
Yeah.
that's we were like we felt like, oh, hey, like this is how you do it. You
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
live room, you got the mix, and now you're on the radio and blah 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 blah
Right.
blah. So yeah, so that's how it came about. And really, there was no post mix either. Like,
Yeah. It's just straight off
we
the
didn't we
board.
didn't yeah, we didn't take tracks and then, sweeten them or, do a cheap trick Budokan type thing.
Right.
No. It
Right.
was like, this is what it is. Our sound, the guy that did the board mix for the CD, Jason Arnold, he
Yeah.
was just mixing as best he could on the fly, and it's like, up, here's your record.
That's
Play.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. And I mean, I remember like I was excited about it because like, Infected was on it and like other stuff that I couldn't listen to unless I was going to see
At a
you
gig.
guys. Yeah. So I got to
Yeah.
listen to it at home. And so that was cool. Um,
Yeah.
so speaking of stuff like that, you had given me a tape at one point that was live stuff. And there was a song on that tape that I absolutely loved. called Animal.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
yeah, yeah. And
Yes.
I remember when I told you how much I liked it, you said you'd, throw it back in the set for me at least one time. Do you remember what happened when you did that?
Everybody else hated the song.
They all left. Like the whole crowd just cleared
Yeah.
the floor.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was
Well,
the
yeah.
only one.
No, yeah. Nobody,
Yeah.
yeah, the audience didn't respond to it.
Yeah.
The other guys in the band were like, "This song sucks."
Yeah. I felt so bad, dude.
So, uh,
But I was like, hey, at least I get to hear it. But yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very distinct memory of like everyone's rocking out. I think you put it like four songs in, and then everybody
It
just sat
it
at
was
their tables.
yeah.
But it
It
was
was a
such a
di
good song,
well,
I
it
think, too.
it was a different animal, if
Yeah.
you will,
Yeah. Yeah.
than
Yeah.
the Brother Meat Party vibe that
Yes.
was
Yeah.
kind of going on at that time. It was definitely more on the grunge kind
Yep.
of vernacular.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think we ever played it again.
No, I think that was it, at least as far as I
Yeah.
ever saw it. It was that one time, and then everyone sat down. And then as soon as you went back to the other songs, everybody got back up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like up the spot.
It's like, oh yeah, okay. Bathroom break.
Yeah. But dude, personally, man, your vocals on that, like so raw and strong and like, I don't know, dude. I thought it was
Yeah.
a freaking song, man. But
I'm 99%, 100% sure that we don't have a recording of that does not
yeah.
exist. And in
Yeah.
fact, I think I only remember the chorus. I don't remember anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. It was about like decaying, right? Though it was like
I don't remember. I swear to
I
God.
feel like that's what it was about. It was about like how we're all gonna die and like eventually return to dirt.
Yes,
Yeah.
another Jason Connolly, light, just a light topic,
Yeah.
you
But
know,
that was the thing. It was like
Christ.
so different, Then I guess I get it why people, but man, I thought it was great. Um,
Yeah.
and another thing that I wanted to get to touch on was sort of segueing off of that. Um, so you guys always had fun songs, right? But you had in the fun songs, some of them had messages like Shotgun and
Oh yeah.
Infected, and I thought that was one of the cooler things about the band, how you could play these songs that people can dance to, but say something. Um,
I mean, yeah. I'll share with you an anecdote
sure.
from the band.
All right. Awesome.
Um, because even in rehearsals, I would fixate on, hey, can you guys hear my vocals?
Hmm.
Can you hear my lyrics?
Yeah. Yeah.
All three of them be like, Jay, nobody listens to the lyrics. Nobody cares.
Oh shit. Okay.
Every time, I mean, part of it was just busting my balls,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but part of it was just like telling me point blank, for what we're doing,
Yeah. People are just there to
we,
dance and have fun. Yeah.
we need to get people on the floor and get them
Yeah.
engaged.
Yeah.
Um, if they buy a CD and maybe listen to lyrics, great. But
Right.
that you are in the small subset of people that are,
Can sing every word to
looking,
every
yeah,
Brother Meat song. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Um, and those first batch of songs and the Brother Meat sort of fun vibe years.
Yeah.
Um, I there wasn't a design like I didn't, but a lot of our stuff, as you probably know, is there's a very easy chorus to
Oh yeah.
remember. There's a
Yeah.
very easy hook.
Yeah.
You got it. Like
Yeah.
all the way through the song. Like that's something and we we say it like 1,000 times. So it's
Right.
like I wasn't doing that on purpose. That's just how it
It's just how it came out.
happened.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, no, if anybody quoted lyrics, you probably were the only one ever
Right.
who would
That's
quote
awesome.
lyrics or ask me about a
Yeah.
lyric.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
re
never was asked.
that's funny. So I remember actually after the CD came out and you guys worked the axe into the set, there was one point where the whole crowd was singing the song so loud that you could like, and this was at the Haunt. It wasn't at like a huge place, but
Hmm.
everyone was singing the freaking song so loud that it was like at least on par with you. And I remember after that show, you were like pretty happy about that. So I thought it was super
I
cool. I mean,
It does sound super cool. I
you
have
don't
no
remember it?
recollection of that
Oh,
at
that
all.
sucks, dude. Man, yeah, it
But
was
thank you for
amazing.
reminding me.
Yeah, everyone, no one was even dancing. Like everyone just stopped and everyone was just singing the freaking song. It was like crazy.
Oh, okay.
Do
There
you
was
remember?
okay. Well, no, no. I don't know if it's this
Yeah,
experience,
yeah,
but I'm revising my earlier comment that no one asked, was interested in lyrics
yeah,
or songs, whatever.
yeah.
So the guy I mentioned earlier, Jason Arnold, who did the live mix at the Horizontal Boogie Bar, his
Sure.
brother, I want to say his name was Matt. He like you,
Yeah,
he would come to gigs and say, "Are you going to play the axe?"
yeah, yeah.
And you two are the only two that would.
That wanted
So and when we would play the axe, he
yeah,
I could see him come close. I could
yeah,
see him, right?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
he would finish and then he'd go away.
That's awesome, man. It's so funny.
Uh,
It's
right.
I didn't get the Rolling Stones reference in that song until years later because I just didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
stole it.
yeah, whatever. It's reworked, not stolen.
Reworked,
Reworked.
right.
Reworked. Yeah,
Sure.
reworked. So, is there anything like from that first half of the band, if you will, that you kind of remember that you want to talk about before we move on? Or
We covered quite
we
a bit
covered
of
a lot of it.
ground
Yeah, we did.
in the
Yeah.
first conversation.
Yeah.
Um, Nothing sort of comes to mind other
Okay.
than I guess we touched a little bit on it, but um, those years were hard fought.
Yeah.
We weren't making any money. We were traveling in a drafty van, crappy van that broke. We had, we ended up going through three different vans,
Yeah.
and you form a bond and a kinship that approaches family level. But
Sure.
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade those years for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I did want to talk about like real briefly. Uh, I mean, we mentioned that you guys got into that you got Lesson in Sex in a movie, like a Bollywood
Yes.
movie, right? How did that actually come about? Because we didn't really get into that.
Yeah. Okay. So what I remember is Bongo from Blind Man's Holiday.
Hmm.
Uh, this is after I think this is like early 2000s, maybe even 2000.
Yeah.
B- Uh, Bongo was doing sound all over and events all over New York City at that time, working with a bunch of different people doing all kinds of production stuff, whether it's live events, from what I remember.
Yeah.
He knew a guy that was doing his own independent movie. Uh, I believe it was called American Desi.
Yes,
Uh,
I know Desi was in the title. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Desi refers to South Asian folks.
Right.
Um, and from what I remember, I never saw the film, uh, but it had to do with a young South Asian man, coming to terms with, living in the United States and,
Right.
sort of generational challenges. And
Yeah.
all I was told was that Lesson in Sex was the opening title sequence, was the music underneath it. That's all
Okay.
know, but I never
Right
saw
on.
it.
Right on. I wonder if it's on Tubi or something. I wonder if you could
Probably not too. I bet you it's on YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah.
I'll bet you. I'll bet you.
Right on. I should look for it. I've never seen it either. So, um, and then I guess the last thing I wanted to talk about, well, a couple more things. Um, so I don't know how much you want to talk about this. It's just funny to me to think about it. And you brought up Blind Man's Holiday. So, um, do you remember like the peace summit that Blind Man's Holiday wanted to have with you guys?
No, I remember though
Okay.
that we poked fun at them.
Yeah. After
Like
the
we were kind of jerks. to be
Yeah, yeah,
honest.
yeah, yeah. Like after the Entertainment Weekly article came out about the best college campuses and their scenes and stuff, and they got named like the best band in Ithaca, and you guys got mentioned in the article. There was like, I
I
remember there was a lot of back and forth, and then you came to
that
work and you were like, "Blind Man's Holiday wants us to like sit down and have a peace summit," and I thought it was really,
well, again, memory is
yeah,
fade, but what I remember about that whole experience, I don't know if it had anything to do with the that best band article.
yeah,
Uh, it was I'm pretty sure this was all just a misunderstanding.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I think what happened was is that the guys at Blind Man's were going to have us open for them at a venue that we had never played,
Okay.
and then they canceled
Oof.
us. But again, I have vague memories of all of
Yeah, yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah.
but it left a bad taste in our mouth, and so
Sure.
we did like a. I'm not proud of this. We
Yeah,
did, we kind of picked one of their songs and did a goofy rendition of it at the
yeah,
Nines.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean, yeah,
what it
yeah.
was one of our. It wasn't our finest hour,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be
I just
honest.
remember like it was an interesting thing to see in Ithaca, because like Elliot used to come up on stage and sing with you guys, and
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
Alyssa, wasn't that her name? Alyssa is on your
Alyssa, yeah,
record,
she
and like
sang backup on Higher,
yeah, and
yeah,
then all of a sudden
or
there's like beef between
yeah.
Brother Meat and Blind Man's
Oh, it's
Holiday.
so dumb. It's so
Yeah,
dumb. I'm
it's
so
just
embarrassed. I'm so
yeah,
embarrassed about that
yeah.
incident.
It's just an interesting. I don't know. It was a weird thing for the Ithaca music scene.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
yeah. So I don't know.
yeah.
I didn't know
I
if you
mean,
wanted to.
we. Oh yeah, I mean, I knew immediately. Like we thought it would be kind of a cool, kind of fun, kind of bust balls moment.
Right.
But as we were doing it, I was like, oh, this is mean.
Yeah,
This
and
is
she
this
was
is
kind of a
like,
sensitive little person too, right?
well, the whole band,
Yeah.
they didn't react well
Yeah. Yeah.
to that. So when we were doing it, I was like, this
Yeah.
isn't coming off how we had intended.
Right.
And so yeah, we talked to them afterwards and we're like, yeah, sorry, yeah, really sorry about that.
Wasn't the
And
way it was supposed to go. So
yeah, it was totally dumb.
yeah. Yeah. It was. Yeah. I just didn't. I didn't remember like. I was wondering just what your recollection of the whole situation was because it was, like I said, it was weird.
Yeah,
So
I'm not proud.
yeah. Yeah. So then the last thing that I wanted to hit on was you won tickets to the Tonight Show. Is that what happened? And then you got to go to the Tonight Show and ended up meeting Branford Marsalis and giving him a CD, right? And then he said that he really liked the bottom end and was like playing it in his limo and shit. Do you remember that?
Now, Branford Marsalis, the connection we have is
Yeah.
a very, very, very indirect connection.
Okay.
Uh, one of the guys that worked at Pyramid Studios for a long time, this guy by the name of Rob Hunter,
Okay.
Rob Wacko Hunter.
Okay.
He was the drummer for Overkill, I believe,
Oh, interesting.
and
Okay.
he worked a lot with Alex at Pyramid for
Gotcha.
a
Sure.
number of years.
Sure.
So, and then he got a job being Branford's main sound guy,
Okay.
sound
Okay.
tech. And he's
Okay.
been working with Branford. I believe he still does. I
Oh,
don't know. I don't know the extent of how much Branford does touring now, but whenever Branford's in the studio, whenever he's doing anything, uh, now the information I'm giving you is probably 20 years old, but
right. Right.
I
Right.
think that relationship still exists.
Right.
So anyway, so yeah, so Rob had passed the Brother
Gotcha.
Meat CD to Branford. And
Okay.
I'm telling you, this is probably what happened. They
Yeah.
probably played like, 30 seconds of one song. Brand was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, I like that low end."
Right.
Anyway, I'm
Right.
sure
Right.
that
Sure.
was
Sure.
it.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. See, like I said, well, I mean, you've said it a couple times. Memories are hazy, so I want to, yeah, like because
Yeah,
I
Tonight
turned it
Show.
into a whole other story, I guess,
Yeah.
in my brain. But yeah, right on. Uh, but it's still cool that Branford Marsalis even like
Sure.
touched the CD, I guess. Um, and
Right.
speaking of overkill, I might as well jump in and do this because I'm supposed to do more plugging. Uh, we're gonna be talking about the first Brooklyn Casket Company CD on My Taste in Music Sucks this week. So, and there's two guys from Overkill in that band. So,
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
The guitar player actually didn't leave Overkill, but sort of like transitioned away from Overkill because he wanted to make music that was a little more nuanced than what
Sure.
Overkill was doing, and started the Brooklyn Casket Company. And it's good stuff. I think
Yeah.
it's traditional metal more than the Overkill thrash stuff. But and I'm also supposed to talk about the Patreon. So go to our Patreon. You can see the episodes a week before they happen. Um, it'll be in there somewhere, and help us make the show continue. Give us some money. But anyway, so
I love your sales pitch.
thanks, man. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes my sales pitch is a little more high energy, and sometimes it's just like I don't know, dude. God, I don't want to like act like Patreon isn't. I think we need to come up with more stuff to give people if they're gonna pay to watch this thing. Like I'm sorry, I don't feel like just watching an episode a week ahead of time. Eh,
It's a creator economy, Keith. Let's
yeah,
get with it.
I got to think of something. I was thinking maybe credits on our merch store, and people can get like after 6 months get a free shirt or something. I had to talk to Tyler about it, but yeah. Anyway, we do have a Patreon. Sign up for it. Um, there'll be cool stuff. I promise. I'll make sure. All right. So anyway, I hate it. I'd rather just talk and not have to be
Gotta do what you gotta
awkward.
do.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah. So let's talk about the second phase. One thing that I've always been curious about, right? The band was named after Eric. So when he left, was there ever any talk about not being Brother Me anymore?
Yes.
Okay.
And I wish we had changed the name.
Yeah.
Um, Simply because it wasn't Brother Meat.
Right. Right. Right.
That second chapter of the band with Brian Wilson on drums was a
Yeah.
different animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just a different vibe, different music, um, different material.
Yeah.
And we quickly, in the beginning. Well, I can sort of talk a little bit about the transitional period,
Sure. Sure.
as I remember it. Yeah, Eric announced he was going to leave the band and move to New York.
Right.
Um, you know, we didn't really leave on the best of terms.
Yeah.
It was, it wasn't super friendly at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Um, so, that was in December of '94. We had that last great show at the Haunt.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Um, and come January, Brian Wilson was playing in a band called Pet Stinky
I
in
remember
Ithaca,
that, Stinky. Okay. Yeah.
and great band,
Yeah.
great band. Um, and he, again, memories fade, but at that time he was also just sort of considering, you know, leaving the band and going doing something else at some other place.
Hmm.
He's from Boston, so if I remember right, he in January, P- Pat Stinky also broke up,
Gotcha.
uh, and Brian went to Boston to, I'm pretty sure, see if he could link up with some other musicians. He was teaching drums. He was teaching drum lessons. He had a little community out there, uh, and somewhere in January, I forget how I got a hold of his phone number. I called him and I
Okay.
said, "Would you, you want to come? Like, I can't believe that, you know, I'm so grateful he did, but he drove
Yeah.
all the way back
Wow.
to like, why don't you come back for a couple of days and let's jam.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Um, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was, because he came in to the band just as, I mean, me and us, we were writing different kind of songs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he introduced a completely different flavor, which is another reason why we shouldn't have been brother meat. So
Right.
the entire character of the music and the band, it's still kind of friendly with each other, right? Of course,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
vibey and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
we were right. It was darker material. It was
Yep.
heavier material.
Yep.
Some of it was a bit more complicated, time signature wise,
Definitely. Yeah.
which I really, really, I wasn't doing consciously.
Hmm.
You know, I, not that I have a writing process, but at that time, songs would arrive one of two ways for me anyway. I would be at the practice house there in Freeville, the Dipmola.
Yeah.
Nobody would be in the house, and I would turn up the guitar and just start noodling, just start fucking around.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And occasionally something came. Most of the time, nothing came.
Right.
So when in that mode of writing, typically, if I got something I liked, I formed almost like 85, 90% of the song was kind of there when I presented it to the guys. And
Right.
then the rest of the 10% was everybody making suggestions and collaboration, and then it became a complete piece of music.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other way of writing was that we would just be warming up, playing, we would get tired of something and then we would just start jamming on something, and then something interesting would bubble up,
Yeah.
and then we would just start popping. But most of the songs at that time were, like I said, I would be in my lab, and then present it to the fellows.
Okay.
A couple of the songs, you know, there's a couple of the songs on the Max CD
Yeah.
that I I am totally just, toot on my own horn here and sound like a real jerk, but
Yeah. Yeah.
there's two songs on there that I really like to this day, and I think are probably some of the best, if not the best songs I've ever written.
Right on.
One is Sarah's Box,
Yeah. That's a great song.
and the other is Until You Return.
That's a great song too.
Uh, both of those songs were my favorite kind of experience writing, where it's like I just start playing something, and 20 minutes later it's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's no like, what should I do here? What should I do here? No, it just was like, I know what I do. It just, I can't, no one who does this can explain how it arrives.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
So, but those two songs,
Yeah.
20 minutes, I had it.
Nice. Wow.
And, and Until You Return, especially, I remember I was noodling around about a half hour before we were doing our rehearsing, and I had it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we're working on this right here. And like
Yeah.
an hour later, it was all
Man,
done. Yeah.
that's awesome, man. So, you kind of hinted at going into like a heavier direction with like, Son of a Bitch and Hand of God.
Hand of God.
Yeah.
Right.
But those songs still had like a groove, like they
Sure.
still kind of fit
Yeah.
into it. I feel like the second batch of stuff is just most of it's just really, really heavy. And I know that I know you really liked the second. Stone Temple Pilots album, and you were like the only person alive who did. Um, like it
I re
now, but
I
in
you know
retrospect,
I
like
caught lots of shit about I liked Stone Temple Pilots. I
me
still
too.
do.
Yeah, but that second album, man, at first it just wasn't for me. I remember well, I remember you knew I liked Stone Temple Pilots, and you were like, hey, what do you think of that new Stone? And I was like, oh. And I was kind of half quoting you because you were like, I'm the only one who fucking likes that record. And I was just like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I dug it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
dig
yeah.
them.
I like
Yeah.
it now, but I didn't at the time at all. It was so different than the first record, and I just couldn't get into it. But yeah. So like, what do you think was the influence? I mean, obviously in '94, music was completely different
Oh yeah.
than 91, 92
Yeah, well,
before that.
heavy rock was in the is in the mainstream.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains,
yeah,
Stone Temple Pilots to a certain degree, and
yeah,
uh, that was just kind of the environment, and that's what I was listening to and digging into. And part of it also too, I mentioned in our first conversation, Eric had introduced me to a lot of like Sabbath that I just
yeah.
had
Sure.
had not really, you know, I didn't really explore other than the songs that everybody knows,
Right, right,
right?
right, right.
Uh, and that was kind of at the forefront.
Yeah.
I also now for anybody listening, I am in no way comparing our songs to the Beatles,
Oh, no,
but
man.
I was oh yeah, and we did a cover of the second version of the band. We did a cover of I Am the Walrus.
Oh, yeah.
And so those
Yep.
chords, that
Yep.
progression, how the song was structured. Yeah, go ahead.
I remember you. I remember
Yeah.
that now. Now that you've said it, I remember like the way that you sang it was like very
Yeah.
distinct. I remember
That
that.
was that was so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Uh Hard song to
Yeah. I'm
play.
sure. Yeah.
So, I was listening to different stuff and I was, not consciously saying, yeah, I can't write funky songs.
Right. Right.
It just wasn't where my head was.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of like, this is just something fun that I wanted to bring up on the podcast to see if you remembered it. Um, do, do you remember uh, the dish room in the Sheridan had like a chalkboard that would sit for some reason right where people loaded the dishes? And you and
I
I would
do.
write song quotes on it for
Yeah.
each other because
Yes.
you worked in
Okay.
the morning
Yes.
and I worked at night.
I
That was
remember that.
so fun,
Yes.
dude. That was so fun. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, I
so
remember
fun.
that. That was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I just remembered that the other day, and I was like, "Oh, that was so fun." I remember, like, I
Yeah.
wrote a Joe Jackson quote on there, and that kind of started it. And then we just did it for a while, and it was yeah. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So eventually, Brian left too. Brian Doritz, right? I mean,
Brian
so
Dezoris. Yes.
Dezoris. Sorry, I did not want to say his last name, but there was two Brians.
Sure.
so so
Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
what was it that prompted that, and how did you end up finding a new bass player? Because I definitely don't want to say.
Well, Brian Dezoris is a giant prick. No.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
no. We so okay, so if we go back, this is January 95. I somehow convinced Brian Wilson to move back to
yeah,
Ithaca and
yeah,
play with us. He had nowhere to live because, again, the Pet Stinky had just broken up and he had dropped his lease. So he was,
yeah.
and so his life was like, okay, my life is in Boston now,
Right.
but I somehow got him
Gosh,
back to Ithaca.
how did
And
that happen?
so he lived with us at the
Yeah,
Demola.
sure.
Um, and so, yeah, so we played for that iteration of the band, me, Mark, Brian Dezoritz, Brian Wilson, for about maybe 7 or 8 months.
Right.
In the end of summer of that year, Brian's girlfriend at the time, now wife Sue,
Yeah.
she got a job, a great job in New York City,
Oh, okay.
And, those two had been apart for about 3 months. And,
Yeah, yeah,
we weren't, we were, we were writing interesting songs for ourselves, for our own amusement. And we were playing occasional gigs every now and again, but we
right.
weren't
But it was
like,
different.
it
Yeah,
wasn't like, that the brother meet of old.
right, right.
Um, and so Brian was like, yeah, I think I love you guys, but it's time for me to go.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because part of it, like, okay, so I went to college for a little while, and I also moved to Buffalo for a little while. But I remember, like, I don't remember seeing the second half of the band as much, and I don't know if it was because you weren't gigging as much or
We
because my
weren't.
life kind of went in a different way. But yeah,
Probably both. Yeah.
yeah. But I remember, like, whenever there was a show, I'd get excited and I'd go if I could, but there wasn't, like,
We
definitely
were
not as
not.
many opportunities.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I mean, we played maybe once a month in Ithaca,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, and like once every other month in Binghamton. Like we were not doing the swing
Yeah.
that we did before. Part of that I think was also just you know, Mark had more demands, Brian Desoritz had more demands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also I was having a tough time booking us,
Oh, well, that makes sense.
because
Yeah.
I would send out, you know, tapes of us, right? But the
Right.
people that I had known, like at that time in the booking indie circuit,
Yeah.
there was tons of turnover in whoever was booking the club, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, if you're not in constant hammering and in people's faces,
Yeah.
nobody, so like we had this like, I don't know, 6 or 7 month period where we weren't gigging at all. We were just rehearsing
Writing and stuff.
and
Yeah.
writing. So when I would call up these places, like, who? Who are you? What? I was like, yeah, we opened up for blah 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 blah. I was like, and I like, or is Tom there? Because I Tom is
Right.
the guy. Oh, he's he's gone.
Tom's moved
Yeah,
on.
Tom
Yeah.
Tom who? Yeah. So, and it was we couldn't, it was very much like starting over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we weren't breaking through. It was just a different time. And yeah, so when Brian Desoritz left that
Yeah.
fall, Mark, Brian Wilson, and I had another sort of chat to, all right, what are
Keep
we going
going.
to do here? Are we
Yeah.
going to keep going, or what do you want, what do you guys want to do? So, we had a big chat. We all decided, okay, we knew at this point we had, a bunch of folks that we wanted to maybe play bass, have play
Yeah.
bass with us. So I was like, all right, let's just ask some folks and play a little bit and see what happens. So a friend of ours, Rob Collins, he was the last member of Brother Meat in that last year.
Final
Uh,
brother.
pardon? The final
I just said the
brother,
final brother.
the
Yeah.
final brother.
The final brother. Yeah.
And he was a very accomplished musician in his own right, a
Sure.
multi instrumentalist. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting all the bands that he played in, like Syzygy,
Okay.
Maka Sleuth. That's right, Maka Sleuth was Elliot Martin's band,
Oh, okay.
and he played with a bunch of other stuff. He also played like jazz recital, like
Right.
ballet recitals on the Cornell campus. He was all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And he was really also, some of the songs that we wrote when he joined, and this is nothing against Brian Desoritz at all,
Yeah. Of course.
but he was really into the off time stuff. He was
Sure.
really into, is that 5/4? Is that six? What is that? What is that? Like I don't know. I don't know what it is, but this
Yeah.
is how you play it.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
Yeah.
So yeah, so Rob came in and I mean, the writing was kind of on the wall, because we were still playing regular gigs, but they were the first couple of gigs that we came back and played at the Haunt were pretty well attended.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
but again, I think this is why we shouldn't have called it Brother Meet.
right.
But people were looking for the Brother Meet experience,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So a lot of people came to the first one or two shows, and when we weren't
yeah,
doing Heartbreaker and all this stuff, and in fact, very quickly, a lot of those songs from Extraordinarily Moist and Delicious got sort of weeded out of
yep,
the set
yep,
because it felt more and more like they didn't fit,
yeah,
you know. So yeah, I mean, the second record, Max, is
yep,
by technically Brother Meat,
right.
but it's a different band, as
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. It
musically.
doesn't. Yeah, it definitely doesn't sound really the same at all. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a completely different album. Um, so so then things kind of just ended, right? So how did
Yeah, I know.
it? I
There's
don't
no,
feel like there was. Yeah, I don't.
yeah,
Yeah,
there isn't that final moment in the sitcom
right.
where, you've one guy's got a suitcase and then they just sort of
Yeah,
head on down the road. We just decided, I had so this was my point. This was my sort of moment of, okay, I think we have done what we could do,
right.
right? Um, this was summer of '97. I also think Brian Wilson at that time, Brian, he was also starting to play with other people
Right. He was in other
in,
bands.
in Ithaca.
Yeah.
And he was, that guy, I swear, he has like the brain the size of Montana. He can hold so many different time signatures
Yeah, it's crazy.
in his head, and he's such a fantastic player.
Right.
I mean, like he and Eric has this as well. They play for the song,
Right.
right?
Sure.
They
Yeah. Yeah.
just ha they just have
Yeah.
different technique, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But but I could do different kinds of songs with
Right.
Brian Wilson on the drums, you know.
Right.
So yeah, so he was starting to spread his wings musically in Ithaca, doing some really interesting stuff. And I also think he was just kind of like, it's like, this is great, guys, but are we really doing something here?
Yeah.
Or are we just kind of just jerking off? What
Right.
what what
Right.
what are we
Right.
doing here?
Right.
So, and I couldn't. So it got to a point where I could no longer say to him, "We are not jerking off."
Yeah.
It's like, I think we are jerking off.
Yeah.
So it's probably time to stop.
Yeah.
And I also just was kind of, at that point, it was, you know, as a young man does, you start to think, well, I guess my dreams of rock stardom, not really, again, like I
Yeah.
mentioned in our first conversation, stardom was never, I never
Wasn't.
thought that was
Yeah.
attainable. I just never thought it would ever happen.
Yeah.
But the goal was being a living, breathing musician earning a living.
Right. Right.
And it just was clear that that was just never going to happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and so that summer, I told the guys, I said, listen, I think this is time. This is a good time to wrap things up, and to to sort of underline why it was a perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
I got no resistance.
Right. Everyone's like, okay. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right. I think you're right,
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
time to hang it up.
Right on, man. Um, and then you guys obviously all went your separate ways. You moved down to the Carolinas, right? And then we kind of covered that stuff, but
Yeah,
yeah. Um, so eventually I didn't really want to talk about this. I wasn't sure how you were going to feel about it, but you mentioned it. So, there was some tension with you and Eric towards the end.
Oh yeah.
before he
Oh
left.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Totally.
remember. Yeah, I remember both of you guys talking to me, and I was just
Oh
like,
yeah. It was not
yeah,
good. It was not
yeah,
pretty.
yeah,
It was kind of ugly.
yeah, definitely.
So, you know,
Yeah,
and yeah, so this is yeah, December 94. We
yeah,
were not on good terms, him and I.
right.
He moved to New York.
Yep.
And when we, the new version of Brother Meat, came down, because we played a couple times in New York
Yeah,
as the new Brother Meat,
yeah.
and Eric showed up. I
Nice.
mean, so and that was the beginning of the Accord. That was the
Right.
beginning of the the peace.
Yeah, right on, man.
And so I mean, brothers fight,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because
brothers have problems.
yeah, because I wanted to talk about the reunion show, right? The big
And
new millennium
we had
reunion
several.
show. Yeah, yeah. So how many reunion shows did you guys end up doing? I know of two. So was there more than the two?
There was one at the sort of the at what was at that time the new haunt in
Right. That
2000,
yeah, that would be
right?
the New Year, the right with Patchwork
Yes.
Down. Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was the
There
big
was
New
that
Year show.
one.
Yep.
There
Yep.
was that one. Uh we did a thing at this was well also when the four of us when Eric, myself, Mark, and Brian got married,
Yeah.
sorry, with the exception of Eric. Me, Mark, and Brian, we all played. We played like at the
Oh, at the
wedding.
wedding? Oh,
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, very
yeah.
cool. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I was late to the marriage game. I got married in 2019,
Ah, okay.
um, and one of my conditions was that no, sorry, one of my wife's conditions was is that you guys have to play.
Nice. Nice.
So we played, and it was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I think there was only two. There was the one at the New Year's, and then we did
One a
one at
few
the
years
at
ago.
well, we did one at the Nines
Right.
when the Nines was going to be closing.
Yeah.
But that was Keith. Time flies. That
Yeah.
was over 7 years ago.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So what I remember about that is I wrote you guys this like long letter basically because I was getting older,
Yes.
thanking you
Yes.
for basically making my early and mid 20s and late teens fucking amazing. Um and then I was like if you guys ever play again, I will do everything I can to get there. And then very shortly after that, you played again, and I was in Indiana and couldn't get there. And I was so pissed, dude. I tried so hard, dude. Like, I don't want you to act like, think that I just sat there. Like, I was like, I'm going to figure this shit out. And it just, money and
No.
distance,
No.
but
Yeah. No
yeah,
harm, no foul. That we heard. Thankfully,
yeah,
we and it was great to hear from a bunch of folks that I
yeah,
hadn't heard from in a long time, mostly on social media, uh, that reached out. God, I'd love to be there. Can't be there.
yeah,
Please take a video. Blah blah blah. And just it was great to hear from a lot of folks that I hadn't talked to in many
right,
years
right,
from those years. And so that was 2018.
yeah,
And then in the fall of 2019, this was right before COVID, Eric was turning 50. So, as part of his birthday, his wife arranged for studio time at Pyramid.
nice, nice,
So, we all tumbled up into Ithaca and recorded some covers and a couple, some sort of,
very
you
cool.
know, uh, I guess, sort of by the pants originals, if you will.
That's awesome.
So so we have those floating around somewhere,
Okay,
just for the hell of it. But
is
the and we I'm sorry, and we were
oh, go
going.
ahead, no,
So
go ahead.
we had that session, and we were all like, "There's no reason why we just shouldn't not gig, but
Yeah,
just get together like maybe once a year, maybe twice a year if we can,
okay.
just to make noise."
Yeah.
So, and we were making plans in 2020 to start
Mhm.
that, and then the world shut down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we just finish this. So we kept
Yeah.
up that, but we sort of kept up that vibe, and then we started, circulating, iPhone recordings of whatever something or other, right?
Yeah.
And then our friend Pete DeBoer, he made this great sort of studio space in his barn, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
We got together and just started recording, and we've put together a bunch of stuff for a new record.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, sorry, because I think you noticed a thought jumped in my brain
Yeah.
while you were
Sorry. Yeah.
talking.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you go ahead, dude. I'm not supposed to interrupt you. That's not what's supposed to happen. But did some of that stuff get put on SoundCloud?
Yes. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, because there's Brother Meat stuff on SoundCloud that just kind of appeared out of nowhere, and I was like, "What is
Yeah.
this?" Yeah,
Yeah, that's from that. Like we did like a Van Halen cover and like an
right.
Ozzy, I forget if it was Sabbath or Ozzy uh,
Yeah,
cover, and some other things too, just for the, just for shits and giggles.
right, right, right. So the a couple just memories from that 2001 or 2000 reunion show for the New Year's thing. Um, I remember you guys had stuff to sell and no one to sell it, and I ended up selling your guys' merch that night. Um,
Is that right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I ended up
Oh,
selling your guys' merch that night because you didn't have anyone to sell it. You actually told me that if I would sell your merch, that you would stuff my sleeves full of CDs at the end of the night. So, so that was how I got the two the Mac. That's how I got Max, and it's how I got your solo CD. Um,
oh, right, right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and it
Oh,
was it
that's
was
that's funny.
cool. I kind of would have rather been out there dancing, but hey, helping out, you know.
Oh,
Um, and
well,
then
thanks.
yeah, no problem. And I remember like Brian came by, and Eric had steel, and he had literally taken like a CDR and stuck a business card in it and had a stack of them that he was selling for like $2 or $3. And
Right.
Brian came by, picked it up, laughed his ass off, and then set it back down. And that was very typical of like my interactions with Brian. I think he's like the only person in the band that I never had like a real conversation with. We would always just like smile at each other and stuff. And like it was yeah. It was always so interesting. But yeah,
Count yourself among the millions
yeah, yeah,
with
right.
with
But
that with that with Brian.
yeah, it just kind of continued on with the tradition of how things were. So it was
Yeah.
pretty cool, man. It was fun. Um, but yeah, so you kind of talked about the new stuff, and you put some of it out. Any sort of a preview of? I know that there is other stuff in the works.
Yeah. So, at the moment, we have, because over the last 3 years, we've gotten together a couple times and
Yeah,
recorded a bunch of stuff, not only for Brother Meat, but also for new Ted Steele material,
that
which,
feels cool.
speaking of Ted Steele.
Yeah,
Um, so, you know, it's just that, we're all busy.
yeah,
And
yeah. Sure.
so, but Mark and Brian are kind of trading mixing duties on the new material.
Awesome.
Again, just for our own amusement, just because we love each other, we love making noise together. I'm so grateful that they, you know, indulge me,
Yeah,
because a fair amount of the stuff, the material is stuff that are demos that I put together and then we flesh them out.
right, right.
But yeah, I'm just so grateful. That's my, you know, that's the way I prefer to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Is I toil away, get an idea, and then bring it to everybody, and then it becomes something more than it was.
right.
Um, yeah, and I'm really, you know, I had kind of given up really. I hadn't written a song in probably close to 15 plus years before this new batch of stuff. And the first song that I wrote, and I know this is kind of weird saying it because nobody can hear it anywhere, but the first song that I wrote that kind of reignited my passion for this, or just my, I like doing it, was a song. I was testing out audio gear. I had just bought this little audio I/O box to record things. I got a little MIDI keyboard to make keyboard fart noises and
Nice.
and sample drums and stuff. Um, so I think you've heard the rough mix of that song Moon.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah. So and that was purely just it was just a pure audio test.
yeah.
Like I want to test how to record and have everything sync and all that stuff. And I wanted to figure out, just the basics of MIDI tracking so stuff synced. That's how it started. And then as I was kind of, testing, I was like, this actually sounds, I think I want to do something with this. You know
Hell
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
it totally started just as an audio test.
Nice.
Um, and by the way,
Yeah,
we have tried on three different occasions to record that live.
not
Can't do it. Can't do
dang.
it. So the mix you hear, the drummer is Yamaha.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all sample drums because
yeah.
there's a time signature change and there's weirdness to it, and
Right. It just can't get it.
so just can't do it live. We just don't have the metal.
Yeah. So it's funny because in like 2005-ish, I want to say, I actually went into a studio and recorded a song.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, with this producer named Roger Suddiff. He was a freaking genius, man. He gave me some Jack Daniels and he smoked a little weed
There
and
you
we
go.
made this freaking song. And dude, we literally so like I went in there and I recorded the vocals and based off my vocals, he created like backing vocals, uh bass line, lead guitar, rhythm guitar, and programmed a drum machine.
Sure.
Um and we had it all done in like 7 hours, a whole freaking song. But the funny thing is, when I released the song, which now you can't find it anywhere, I credited the drummer as Mr. Chips.
Yeah.
So I just
Yes.
thought that was my point of bringing that up
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that
yeah.
I also
No, right.
yeah
Drum machine.
yeah yeah Mr. I was like, what am I going to name this thing? Because I want to pretend it's a person. I was like Mr. Chips.
Right.
So scooter
Right.
computer. Yeah, but yeah, man. So I did one last thing, kind of fight right uh, is one of the new songs,
Yes,
and
and that actually is available on your favorite streamer.
it is, yes, indeed, and it kind of to me it fits in the same line of stuff like infected and shotgun and stuff like that. So in this current global climate, like, do you want to make some songs like that, kind of like get off your ass and do something type of songs?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
do. It's hard to, so, I'm not a prolific lyric writer
right,
in general. Lyrics are always the hardest part of the equation for me. So rarely do they just sort of kind of pop
right,
out.
sure,
But as I explained before, Until You Return and Sarah's Box, those
yeah,
were songs that the music came, the idea came, and the lyrics came all very quickly. Fight is another example of that.
yeah,
So again, that started as an audio test. I had just bought, this is a tangent story you might like or
okay,
be interested in. So back in 95, 96, the guitar I was playing was a 70s era Fender Telecaster Deluxe.
hmm
But when the band ended, I needed money to move. So I sold it to Rumble
Yeah.
Seat Music to get some cash. And I have thought about that guitar for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a year or so ago, I can't remember what it was. The local guitar shop that I go to here in Falls Church, Virginia, they posted an Instagram video, a 1975 Fender Telecaster Deluxe. Wasn't the same finish. It was all
Right.
black, which is great,
Right.
but two humbucker pickups, just like the one I had played back in the day.
Yeah.
And I called them up. I said, keep that there. I'm coming over. So I went over there and I didn't ask him how much it was.
Yeah. 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 Like
So
it's
I go to the shop and I know a couple of the guys there. I say, hey, where is it? I go track it down. Because I'm me, the first thing I look at is the price.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I didn't have my glasses on.
Okay.
So I turned the tag and I thought it said $32,000.
Shit. Right.
And there was another customer near me, and I said, "Can you tell me what that says?" And he goes 3,200. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh,
I mean, it's still,
that's
more
still a lot of
money.
money.
That's
Yeah.
still more money than I want to pay for a guitar.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is the guitar I've wanted for years.
Right.
So I made a deal with the wife. Like, okay, this is birthday, Valentine's, Christmas for a couple of years. So
Yeah.
it is in my possession.
Awesome.
And so brought it home.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because I am who I am, I'm stupid busy. It
Yeah.
sat for about 2 weeks,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's in my just like Jason,
Yeah.
Jason, right?
Yeah. It's not,
So
yeah.
I finally get to play it, fire it up, tune it up, string it up. First lick I played is the lick and fight.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
total Queens of the Stone Age kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah. Very.
But that was the first thing I played, and I just went play record. I had the song done in about an hour, or I had the music done in about an hour. I went for a walk, and by the time I got back, I had it all done, the
Awesome,
lyrics.
man.
I had
Oh
it,
yeah.
so it was like usually. I mean, for the stuff that I put together, I'm patting myself on the back here, but
Yeah.
most more often than not, if a song is kind of that in front of me, I don't know if other people like it, but I know that I like it,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
right?
Yeah.
So
And I mean, you know, who are you writing for now? You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know, I'm
for
sure that.
just us, yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah. You're just writing for yourself at this point. So,
yeah.
um, so I hope the answer to this is yes, but I completely understand if it's no. When you get this batch of songs completed, like whatever it is, 10 or 12 songs, whatever you decide to do with it, will there be physical media?
Physical media, probably not. I
Oh,
I
so
I I
sad.
I highly. You
Okay.
mean like vinyl?
No, or like a CD even. Like anything that yeah.
Uh, no plans for that.
Okay. Right
What?
on,
So,
man.
but no, but no, but tell me, like, what is the
Well, I mean, I still have a CD player and I have like 5,000 CDs and I buy CDs all the time. So I
I mean,
personally would buy a copy if you had a copy.
right.
Yeah. I personally. Um,
Well, so I can tell you this.
yeah.
I mean, maybe Brian can, because Brian's he's an audio professor at Ithaca
Yeah.
College. He might
Ah,
have
right.
access to gear like
Yes.
that. But I, the last, like CD drive or DVD player I
Yeah.
had is like from like 2013. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't,
People don't really
I
do
don't
it
have it
anymore.
anymore.
It's coming back
Um,
though, man.
It's funny. I've heard that. I've
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
that. Well, first, the vinyl sort of comeback story
yeah,
was like 10
sure.
years ago,
Yep,
and that's still kind of around.
yeah,
I what I notice now, I'm sure you notice this, is that
yeah.
uh, artists will remaster something,
Yes,
and
definitely.
then part of the package is you can get it on limited vinyl or
Yep,
like gold vinyl or whatever.
yeah.
But
So, oh,
yeah,
um,
I don't. There's no plans right now to make physical media. I'm sorry.
okay. It's all good. So I've had, dude, you'd be amazed, like just knowing me. I had John Easdale on my show, from
Huh.
Dramarama.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was the worst interview I've ever done. Honestly,
Because you're
because I
just like
was, yeah, I
fanboying
was
all
like,
over
I
the
love
place.
you so much. I was like, yeah, yeah. So,
Dude, that band, I swear to God, when we worked at the Sheridan,
yeah,
almost maybe once a week,
yeah.
you were selling Dramarama.
They're the greatest band to ever exist, dude. So
You never pushed me over the cliff though. I tried,
I love them so
but
much.
you were a Dramarama, like that was
Yeah,
every week. It's like, Jay, have you heard this song? Jay, and they're like,
yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I had John Easdale on the show. I had Mark Knight from
Fantastic.
Bang Tango on the show. Uh,
That's great.
yeah, and with both of those, so I mean, they're basically like, I'm not going to get anybody from Soundgarden, but two of my top three favorite bands of all time.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
but we talked. I talked to both of them about physical media, and they both, every time they put something new out, they put out CDs and records and stuff. And the
Right.
reason is because you get, even, I mean, Bank or not Bank Tango, Dramarama does decent numbers on streaming, but even so, you get shit for, you don't get any money. Like, whereas if you put out a CD, you get $20. Even if you buy one CD, it's like the equivalent to who knows how many streams. So, and that's
Yeah.
why people are going back to
That
putting out
yes,
CDs.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's just a way, even if you don't sell as many as you would have, it's your money. And there's so many
Yeah.
services now. Like, there's a service called Kunaki that does on demand CD printing. All you have to do is upload the files, and they don't charge
Oh
you
yeah. Oh dude,
anything up
yeah.
front. Yeah.
Right.
So,
As soon as you mentioned physical media, at first I was like, wow, my
yeah.
head goes back to the old days.
Right, of course.
And
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh, I'll bet you like there's got to be 20 platforms now that will do it.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
upload something, have a CD tomorrow, you
Yep, for
know.
sure. Yeah. Uh might as well plug the next show. Samara Swan is coming on next week, and I know one of the guys in the band, and he gets all of his stuff from Kunaki, and it's no upfront costs. Like, you literally
Yeah.
just load it up, and then they send it to you. And once you sell a certain amount of units, they charge you for like shipping, and then like a small amount per disc, but it's not very much. And if you don't sell the amount that, like, if you don't hit that number, they don't charge you anything. It just sits in your store until you hit the number before they charge you.
Right.
So it's, yeah.
That was similar to we had when Max came out,
Yeah.
we had it up on CD Baby, I
Right.
think.
CD Baby went digital. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, um, well, I don't know. You've put the bug in my brain, but I don't know.
Okay. Right on. Well, if it happens, just know you'll sell at least one. So
Okay, right, right.
you'll sell at least one CD, man. Yeah.
So the CD would be $199.
Okay, right. Whatever, dude. I'll wait till my income tax comes, and I'll send you. I paid $75 for an imported Bang Tango CD that was only released like overseas. So, yeah.
Someone's gonna buy it, and it's
Yeah,
gonna be you.
it is gonna be me. I want that. Now we're just kind of drifting a little bit, but I want that DGs. Do you know about the DGs record?
Is that the Dave Grohl thing?
Yes, doing the BG
Okay,
songs, and then there's some live tracks at the end of it. It's like $250. I want it so bad. Every
okay, man.
Yeah, every year I'm like, you know what? Income tax, I'm gonna put some money aside and I'm gonna buy it. And then I'm like,
Why not?
yeah,
Why the hell
yeah.
not?
Yeah, why not get a $250 record? Like, why why not?
Right.
But man, Jason, thank you, man. Um,
But
this
this has
is
been a pleasure. This has been great,
yeah,
Keith.
this has been
I
so fun,
really,
man.
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I really am so happy to reconnect with you
yeah,
and talk about these things. Um, if we ever kind of get our crap together, if you're even the least bit interested, we
yeah.
could do we could talk about the new songs.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So,
I'm
but
totally down for a part three.
I yes,
100%.
I have no idea when, you know, when that might be
Yeah. But yeah,
available.
man, I would definitely love to have you come back on. Because this, dude, I know I can be kind of awkward, but for whatever reason, once this thing switches on, I'm like, hey, I'm rolling. So yeah, but I appreciate you, man. This has been so fun. Um, Catching up and just
Likewise.
talking about everything. So
Yeah.
I guess I'll do the business side of things now. Um, Patreon, it's here. Go to it. Give us money. You'll get cool stuff. You're early access. You'll get early access, but I promise I'm going to make it worth more than that. I have to. That's my mission is to,
I
yeah.
I like the direct pitch. Before you were kind of like embarrassed, but I
This is
like
so,
this. I
yeah.
like this.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help Tyler. That's the whole thing, dude. Tyler's been doing this thing for me for, we're going into our third year of this thing, and I have paid him like $100.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
like ladies and gentlemen, Tyler's got to eat too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So let's
let's
feed
get
Tyler,
going
man.
here.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
get this
feed Tyler.
going.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And yeah, so check out My Taste in Music Sucks. Like I said, we'll be doing the Bronx Casket Company CD, their first self-titled one, which has an amazing song on it. The first track, it's so the chorus is "Who Wants to Live Forever," but the title of it is like "I Want to Live Forever," something like that. It doesn't make any sense, but it's a fantastic song. So at the very least, listen to that song. Um, and we'll be having Samara Swan on coming up. We took a week off, so if anybody noticed, there was no music, no most excellent entertainment because we wanted to set up the Patreon. So you had to go without a week of our shows so we could set up our Patreon, and now we're a week ahead, and you can get the stuff ahead of time, 1 week ahead of time for Patreon. Yeah, bonfire shop, buy some shirts, buy some mugs, buy some stuff. Again, give Tyler some money because it's all going to go to him. I don't care about getting paid for this, but he does the real work. So yeah, Jason, plug Brother Meat.
Uh, yeah, I mean, anybody who is interested, the Brother Meat catalog as it currently exists are on your favorite streamer. We have released two new singles of this sort of mythical record new record that I keep talking about. Uh, brothermeat.com, actual there I did put some pages together. Uh, yeah.
Yeah,
If anybody is remotely interested. And look, I'm time for self-indulgence. What we had talked about earlier. Yeah, I if there's one, yeah. So those two songs that are on Max, Sarah's Box and Until You Return. I keep harping on this, I know,
yeah,
but those are two songs I wish somehow got a life outside of whatever, or just got was able to be, I don't know, had more exposure, I guess, because those are again, I don't know if they're good songs. I just know that I like for the songs that I have written, those are the two songs. I'll put it this way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for the songs that Jason thinks are the best songs that he has written, Sarah's Box and Until You Return, that's where you want to go.
right on, man.
Nobody,
Um,
nobody cares. All right.
Hey, dude, we got a decent amount of views on your first interview. To be completely honest, like for
All
our
right, well
show,
then where's my cut? I'm
well, I'll
totally
talk to
kidding.
Tyler. I'll talk to Tyler.
No, 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 no. Tyler,
Yeah,
listen, Tyler's got rent. Tyler's got
yeah,
bills.
he
Tyler
does.
does the real work, as you said.
He really does. Man, so I was gonna wrap things up, but I just want to say real quick, man. Speaking of the website, that little write up that you did about the first podcast, it meant a lot to me, dude. Like,
Oh,
it was really well written, and it legitimately did make me uh, tear up a bit. Like, uh,
oh.
yeah,
Well,
dude. Yeah,
that is a sales pitch for the website if I've ever heard one. So,
yeah,
but yes,
yeah.
meant every word, meant every
I
word.
appreciate it, man. Because like reality. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of awkward sometimes, but man, I don't think I can ever really express what the band meant to me and what you meant to me as like I know I can be kind of goofy and whatever, but you were like a mentor to me, dude. Like legitimately, like I admired you so much, and I don't know if it ever really.
I'm flattered, Keith, and that's really nice of you to say.
Yeah, right on, man. Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you being here. Um, and yeah, let's get out of here before I start
All right, all right,
frying or something.
okay,
So
yeah.
we will be back next week. Thank you to Jason Connolly. Thank you to Tyler Martin. Thank you to everyone who watches this thing. I have been Keith. We'll be back next week with more Most Excellent.